Porsche 959. The supercar that won its war before the first shot was fired. As the 1980s automotive world fixated on raw horsepower and outrageous styling, Porsche engineers in Stuttgart were quietly developing something far more ambitious, a supercar that would redefine what was technologically possible in a road-legal automobile. The Porsche 959, unveiled to a stunned public at the 1985 Frankfurt Motor Show, represented not just another fast car, but a rolling laboratory of innovations that would shape the automotive industry for decades to come. With its twin-turbocharged flat-six engine producing 444 horsepower, sophisticated all-wheel drive system, and construction utilizing aerospace materials like Kevlar and Nomex, the 999 arrived as the world's fastest production car, capable of 97 miles per hour. Yet speed was almost secondary to its true mission. Porsche invested over $100 million developing technologies that would eventually trickle down to every turbocharged 911 that followed. The company lost money on every one of the 337 examples built between 1986 and 1993, selling each for approximately $225,000 when production costs exceeded $450,000. This wasn't about profit margins, it was about establishing Porsche as the preeminent automotive engineering house in the world. The 959 combined race car performance with luxury sedan refinement, proving that a supercar could traverse the Sahara Desert one day and navigate snow-covered mountain passes the next, all while coddling its occupants in climate-controlled comfort. Today, with values ranging from $1.5 to $3 million, the 959 stands as one of the most important automotive achievements of the 20th century, a technological tour de force that changed everything. The 959's genesis traces back to 1981, when Porsche managing director Peter Schütz and chief engineer Helmut Bott initiated a project with dual purposes: create a homologation special for FIA GroupBRally racing while developing advanced technologies for future production 911 models. Group B regulations required manufacturers to build 200 road-going examples to qualify their competition cars, providing Porsche the perfect justification for an ambitious engineering exercise. Bott assembled a team to explore all-wheel drive systems, advanced aerodynamics, sequential turbocharging, and lightweight composite materials, technologies that seemed almost science fiction in early 1980s automotive context. The project aimed to prove that Porsche could build the world's most technologically sophisticated automobile regardless of cost. Development proved extraordinarily complex. The PSK all-wheel drive system alone required years of refinement, featuring computer-controlled torque distribution that could send up to 80% of power rearward, maintaining the 911's characteristic handling while adding all-weather capability. Sequential twin turbocharging eliminated the crippling lag that plagued period turbocharged engines, using a small turbocharger for low RPM response and a larger unit for high RPM power. Porsche first showed the concept as the Group B at the 1983 Frankfurt Motor Show, generating immediate excitement. However, production delays pushed customer deliveries to April 1987, over a year behind schedule. Tragically, Group B rally racing was cancelled in May 1986 following fatal accidents, eliminating the 959's intended competition purpose before production cars reached customers. The first customer delivery went to Dr. Wolfgang Porsche, Ferry Porsche's youngest son, symbolically keeping the initial example within the founding family. Production was handled not at Porsche's Zuffenhausen factory, but by Carrosserie Bauer in Stuttgart under strict Porsche supervision. Chapter 3: Aerodynamic Sculpture in Motion. While the 959 clearly descended from the iconic 911 silhouette, every surface was reimagined through the lens of aerodynamic efficiency and functional purpose. The design team, working under Helmuth Bott's engineering leadership, created a shape that achieved a drag coefficient of just 0.31 while maintaining zero lift, a remarkable achievement that allowed the car to remain stable at its 200-mile-per-hour top speed. The body stretched 4.26 meters in length, 1.84 meters wide, and stood just 1.28 meters tall, proportions that appeared muscular yet purposeful rather than ostentatious. Wide fender flares housed the sophisticated suspension and accommodated the hollow-spoke magnesium wheels, their unique design integrating the world's first production tire pressure monitoring system. Construction employed an exotic materials palette that read like an aerospace specification sheet. Aluminum and Kevlar composite body panels reduced weight while increasing strength. The floor utilized Nomex honeycomb construction, the same material found in aircraft and race cars. Special aluminum alloy doors and bonnet saved additional kilograms. Glass fiber reinforced epoxy resin and polyurethane integral foam comprised the front spoiler, designed to manage airflow beneath the car. The rear wing, while visually subtle compared to contemporary supercars, was aerodynamically optimized through extensive wind tunnel testing. Titanium connecting rods in the engine represented another weight-saving measure borrowed from motorsport. Every material choice served dual purposes, reducing mass while increasing structural rigidity or thermal efficiency. The overall aesthetic struck a balance between the familiar 911 profile and something altogether more exotic, a design that looked purposeful and technical rather than flamboyant. This restraint made the 959 age gracefully, appearing sophisticated and modern even decades after production ended. At the 959's mechanical heart sat a 2.85-litre twin-turbocharged flat, 6-engine producing 450 PS, equivalent to 444 horsepower at 6,500 RPM, with 369 pound-feet of torque arriving at 5,000 RPM. This power plant derived directly from Porsche's Le Mans, winning 956 and 962 race cars, adapted for street use with remarkable civility. The revolutionary sequential twin turbocharging system represented the 959's most significant technical innovation. A smaller turbocharger spooled quickly at low engine speeds, providing immediate throttle response, while a larger turbocharger engaged at higher RPM for maximum power. This configuration virtually eliminated the turbo lag that made 1980's turbocharged cars nearly undrivable in traffic, delivering linear power delivery from idle to redline. Power reached all four wheels through the groundbreaking PSK all-wheel drive system, Porsche, Steuerkupplung in German, which used computer-controlled clutches to dynamically distribute torque between axles. The system could vary from balanced 50-50 distribution to 80% rear bias, maintaining the 911's characteristic handling while adding all-weather capability. A 6-speed manual transmission included a unique Gelände first gear, essentially a crawler ratio for off-road terrain. The suspension employed double wishbones at all corners with electronically adjustable dampers and ride height control offering 3 settings, 4.7 inches for high-speed stability, 5.9 inches for normal driving, and 7.1 inches for rough terrain. This represented the first production application of active, self-leveling suspension. ABS braking, still rare in 1987, came standard. The Sport variant, limited to just 29 examples, increased output to 515 PS and raised top speed to 211 miles per hour. Optional factory upgrades could extract 530 PS with a top speed of 336 km per hour and 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.4 seconds. Chapter 5. Redefining Supercar Performance. When automotive journalists first experienced the 959 in 1987, they struggled to find adequate superlatives, with Car and Driver famously declaring it simply perfect for combining race car performance with luxury sedan comfort. The numbers told part of the story: 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.7 seconds, quarter mile in 12 seconds, and a top speed of 317 kilometers per hour or 197 miles per hour. These figures made it the world's fastest street-legal production car when launched, outpacing the Ferrari 288 GTO and prompting Ferrari to rush the F40 into production to reclaim the title. Yet raw acceleration and top speed barely captured what made the 959 revolutionary. The car could traverse the Sahara Desert, as it proved by winning the 1986 Paris-Dakar Rally with René Mecci driving, then transform into a sophisticated grand touring machine for European autobahn travel. The adjustable suspension allowed drivers to raise the car for desert dunes or snow-covered mountain passes, then lower it for maximum high-speed stability. The all-wheel drive system provided traction in conditions that would leave rear-drive supercars helpless, yet the computer-controlled torque distribution maintained the engaging, rear-biased handling character that defined the 911 experience. Inside, occupants enjoyed climate control, leather upholstery, and remarkable refinement for a car capable of nearly 200 miles per hour. The sequential turbocharging meant the engine responded crisply from 2,000 RPM, yet pulled ferociously to 7,000, without the abrupt power delivery that made contemporary turbocharged cars intimidating. This combination of extreme performance with genuine everyday usability represented a paradigm shift. Previous supercars demanded compromises, difficult clutches, poor visibility, brutal ride quality, temperamental nature. The 959 proved that with sufficient engineering investment and technological sophistication, a supercar could be both the fastest and the most civilized. Porsche's original production plan called for 200 units to satisfy Group B homologation requirements, but the program's cancellation freed engineers to focus purely on creating the ultimate technological showcase without racing constraints. Between 1987 and 1988, Porsche built 292 production examples, with an additional 37 prototypes and pre-production development cars, bringing the total to 329. Within the production run, 29 cars were built to sport specification, featuring reduced sound insulation, fixed-height suspension, and increased power output of 515 PS with a top speed of 211 miles per hour. These sport models command significant premiums today due to their rarity and enhanced performance. The story didn't end in 1988. In 1992 and 1993, Porsche assembled 8 additional comfort models from remaining parts inventory, building these final examples at the main Zuffenhausen factory rather than at Carrosserie Bor. These later cars featured improved, speed-sensitive damper systems and sold for 747,500 Deutsche Marks, more than double the original price. The 1992 to 1993 models, particularly those finished in silver and red, are among the most sought-after examples today. Production economics told a remarkable story of Porsche's commitment to engineering prestige over profit. Each 959 cost approximately $450,000 to $500,000 to manufacture, yet Porsche sold them for just $225,000. The company lost money on every single unit, viewing the program as a research and development investment and a demonstration of engineering capabilities. The car was never federalized for the United States market, creating legendary import controversies when wealthy Americans like Bill Gates and Paul Allen purchased examples only to have them held in customs for 13 years until the 1999 show and display law finally allowed limited use. This rarity and exclusivity, combined with the car's technological significance, established the 959 as one of the most desirable collector Porsches ever built. Chapter 7. Icon of Technological Ambition. The 959 emerged during the 1980s supercar golden age, sharing poster wall space with the Ferrari F40 and Lamborghini Countach in the bedrooms of automotive-obsessed teenagers worldwide. Yet while those Italian exotics represented raw emotion and visual drama, the 959 symbolized something different, the triumph of engineering sophistication and technological advancement over mere horsepower and styling excess. The car became a cultural touchstone for an era of optimism about technology's potential when computers were revolutionizing industries and space. Age materials promised lighter, stronger, faster everything. Automotive journalism elevated the 959 to legendary status almost immediately. In 2004, Sportscar International named it #1 on their top sports cars of the 1980s list, recognizing its profound influence on the decade's automotive landscape. The United States import controversy transformed the 959 from mere supercar into forbidden fruit, amplifying its mystique. When Microsoft co-founders Bill Gates and Paul Allen purchased examples that customs officials refused to release, the story became automotive folklore. For 13 years, these cars sat in legal limbo until the 1999 show and display law created a pathway for historically significant vehicles to enter the country with limited use provisions. Gates ownership and the resulting legal battle generated more publicity than any advertising campaign could achieve. Other notable owners included comedian Jerry Seinfeld, tennis champion Martina Navratilova, and former Formula One driver Nick Heidfeld, who owns a rare sport model. The 959 represented the pinnacle of the Group B era, that brief moment when rally racing regulations encouraged manufacturers to build insane homologation specials. Though Group B's cancellation in 1986 ended this golden age, the 959 survived as its most sophisticated expression. The car appeared in countless magazine features, books, and documentaries examining automotive engineering excellence. It became the answer to the question, what happens when cost is no object, and engineers are given freedom to create the ultimate sports car? Though conceived primarily as a Group B rally homologation special, the 959's competition history proved both triumphant and tragically brief. Development began with modified 911 Carrera 4x4 prototypes designated 953, which Porsche entered in the 1984 Paris-Dakar Rally to test all-wheel drive systems under extreme conditions. René Metcher drove one to overall victory, with Jackie X finishing 6th and a third car placing 25th, proving the concept's viability. In 1985, a 959 equipped with the twin-turbocharged engine won the Rallye des Pharaons with Saeed Al-Hajri and John Spiller at the wheel, demonstrating that the production specification powertrain could survive desert brutality. The pinnacle came at the 1986 Paris-Dakar Rally, where 959s finished first with René Metge, second with Jackie X, and sixth, achieving a dominant performance that showcased the car's remarkable versatility. These victories proved that Porsche had created something genuinely capable of conquering the world's most demanding off-road endurance event while remaining a sophisticated road car. The same year, Porsche developed the 961, a racing variant of the 959 for circuit competition. At the 1986 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 961 finished 7th overall and first in the IMSA GTX category, demonstrating competitiveness against purpose-built prototypes. However, Group B's cancellation in May 1986 following fatal accidents at the Tour de Corse ended the category before production 959s could compete in their intended rally championship. This timing proved bitterly ironic. Porsche had invested over $100 million developing the ultimate Group B machine, only to have the category abolished just as production cars reached customers. The racing program ended, but the competition victories, particularly the Paris-Dakar dominance, became integral to the 959 legend. These successes proved the car's capabilities extended far beyond smooth tarmac, validating Porsche's vision of a supercar without compromises. Chapter 9. Blue Chip Investment Appreciation. The 959's journey from $225,000 loss leader to multi-million-dollar blue-chip collectible represents one of the automotive market's most impressive appreciation stories. When new in 1987, the car cost 431,550 Deutsche Marks, approximately $225,000, while the 1992 to 1993 models sold for 747,500 Deutsche Marks. Today, values range from $1.5 million to $3 million, with average auction prices around $1.83 million. Recent auction results demonstrate strong market demand. Sales have ranged from $1.46 million to $2.54 million, with sport models and the rare 1992 to 1993 examples commanding significant premiums. Several factors drive this appreciation. Extreme rarity tops the list. Only 337 total examples exist, with most surviving in climate-controlled collections rather than being driven and potentially damaged. The car's technological significance and influence on subsequent automotive development establish it as a historically important vehicle rather than merely another fast car. Originality proves crucial to value, as sourcing replacement parts remains challenging despite Porsche Classic's efforts to remanufacture components. Well-preserved, low-mileage examples with factory-original parts, comprehensive service records, and proper documentation fetch premium prices. The 1992 to 1993 silver and red comfort models are particularly sought after due to their improved systems and extremely limited production. Specialist firms like Canepa Design offer restoration services and have created ultra-limited 959 SC Restomods with 825 horsepower, with one example selling for $3.085 million in March 2024. Investment advisors increasingly recognize the 959 as a blue-chip collectible with steady appreciation potential, comparing favorably to contemporary supercars like the Ferrari F40. The combination of rarity, technological significance, racing pedigree, and the Porsche Marquez prestige creates a perfect storm of collectability factors. The 959's influence on automotive development extends far beyond its production run, establishing technological templates that define high-performance vehicles decades later. Every innovation Porsche pioneered in the 959 eventually became standard equipment in subsequent models and influenced the broader industry. Sequential twin turbocharging solved the fundamental problem, plaguing 1980s turbocharged engines, proving that forced induction could deliver linear, responsive power delivery rather than abrupt, lag-plagued bursts. This technology influenced every turbocharged Porsche sports car that followed, from the 964 Turbo through today's 992 Generation 911. The PSK all-wheel drive system directly led to the 911 Carrera 4, introduced in 1989 as the first all-wheel drive production 911. Porsche subsequently made all-wheel drive standard on all turbocharged 911s, starting with the 993 generation, a policy that continues today. Tire pressure monitoring systems, first integrated into the 959's hollow magnesium wheels, became federally mandated safety equipment in the United States by 2007. Electronically adjustable suspension with multiple ride heights and damper settings evolved into systems now offered across Porsche's lineup, from the 911 to the Cayenne SUV. The extensive use of lightweight composite materials presaged the carbon fiber construction now standard in modern supercars. Beyond specific technologies, the 959 established a philosophical blueprint that supercars should combine extreme performance with genuine everyday usability, sophisticated technology with driver engagement, and racing-derived engineering with luxury car refinement. This approach defined subsequent Porsche halo cars, including the Carrera GT and 918 Spider. The car's influence extended to competitors, prompting manufacturers to prioritize technological sophistication alongside raw performance. Today, as values climb toward $3 million and collectors recognize the 959 as one of the 20th century's most important automotive achievements, its legacy remains visible in every turbocharged all-wheel drive sports car. Porsche's willingness to lose money on every example, investing over $100 million in development, created not just a supercar but a foundation for decades of innovation.